Tell you about the business. Mr. Jerry D. Rogers, he the one that had the vision. Educating impact at least 2 million. Now it's 4 years later and we still on the mission. Yeah, we talking 2 million families, shifting their perspectives mentally and financially. How many of y'all like being
Good morning, good morning.
But if money is your problem, then actually we got the answer key. Enroll, learn, and profit. It's simple, don't make it challenging. Shout out Miss Tasha Dyer for coming up with the strategy. Now I ain't saying it's easy, cause focus is something you have to be. It ain't no better feeling than setting your own salary. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently.
Good morning, good morning. Drop it in the chat. We'll get started here in just a moment. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, awesome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make sure that you make this adjustment. The time change, the time change, the time change. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to the line this morning. And as you log in, just go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations, your mindset, your mindset, your mindset, your mindset, your mindset is ultimately so very important when it comes to making sure that you're in the right state of mind to, walk in that success that you're looking for. And we always want to make sure, that's what we are. All right. We have to make sure that that's what we are. Okay. So once again, I know we had a time change, so I just kind of want to walk you through a couple things, but this is that weekly setup. And if you're trading indices or if you're doing anything like that, then you'll definitely appreciate that shift, because we want to kind of jump into the market and we want to start trading, after those events happen. So this is our website. A few things I kind of want to point out is, as we get started this morning, today, I want to make sure that you all come get registered. You want to know more about BYOB, what it's all about, what we're doing. It's real simple. Just come get registered. All right, guys. You want to get registered and you want to make sure that you join us this evening, because we're definitely going to, just join us this evening. We're going to definitely be walking you through exactly what BYOB is all about and why you want to take advantage of what we're doing in this movement. Okay, guys, you definitely want to do that. Now, also, as we kind of go through, you want to make sure that you take advantage. So let me refresh this because this was updated yesterday. Guess I did not update it. There we go. Trading tools. So yesterday, you recall, I wanted to make sure we had some clarity. So I sent it in for them to update this on the website. And as you can see, it is. Okay. As you can see, it definitely is updated already. So you want to make sure, right, that we are definitely taking advantage of the trading tools that are available for us. Now, when you look, I do want to point a few things out. We have been very accustomed to a tool that was already programmed and set up. That is why we put this here. All right. This is why this is here. This is here because we want to make sure that you all have access and you're not trying to, you can cut the volume off. That's irrelevant. I don't use it. Some people use it, you know, but the way the program thing works, which is why you saw it on one of the tools previously. So you want to, this is already set up. Now, when you do open up your personal TradingView account, or if you click it from here, I want to point out the 3 indicators that we use. Now, it depends on how you're trading, because if you're trading the BYOB cash out strategy, which you see me click back and forth on the traditional Japanese candles, and then of course you see me drop into our Hikinashi candles, the indicators have to be there. So for example, you see SAR, which is our PSAR, you see our stochastic, and my Hikinashi is here. So it has to say Hikinashi or you're not utilizing Hikinashi candles. There has been quite a few questions, you know, as those of you all who are actually lining things up here or actually on TradingView. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that, because you want to make sure you see the indicators, okay? If you don't see the names of the indicators, then you're not using it. Indicators will always be listed, you know, so you want to make sure, like this says volume, I can have the volume here, I can hide the volume, and you do so with the little icon that's right there that says hide your settings, or you can just simply take it off. So that's what this is, okay? You can still come on here and you can set your favorites. Those are things that you can do. So I just want to make sure we're all very familiar with how to utilize that. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the news. I'm actually going to make those adjustments. You saw me refresh it. So that means I need to come in. I'm going to take off my low impact or no impact news. Definitely want to take that off. I'm going to save it. Now, I know we have FOMC today and tomorrow, as you notice that. Now, let me help you out. And I see you all logging in. Good morning. Good morning. I'm here. I'm with you. But let me point a few things out. So with that being said, you do want to check more than one news source. So this news source is here for you to kind of assist you through that process. We have it on here. I'm going to use the news sources that are here and then the news sources on our website. So that's the default news sources that I'm going to be sharing with you. But, and of course, you can kind of see, because they kind of give you the information and it's going to help you understand how to use it. And you also saw me walk it through. So there is high impact news. There is FOMC that has quite a bit to do with our inflation, quite a bit to do with our interest rates. Quite a bit to do with those things. So obviously that's going to have a huge impact on the US dollar. And based on what's happening with the US dollar, then, you know, that's going to determine trends and direction and things in the market. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump over to our Trading Academy. Now I want to be, let me jump back to home because I want to be clear. All right. Our Trading Academy, you can get to it from there. All I did is click down here at the bottom on our website. Everything is linked to our website. All right, you're not logging in here. You're not logging in here in order to get to the Trading Academy. Now, there are other products and services down the road that we will offer, things that we will be able to, and that's what this is for. So I want you to remember where you actually created an account. So this is our Trading Academy. When you click that link, if you need to get to the funding site, it does the same thing. All right. So you want to make sure that you understand where you're clicking and what you're looking for. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and as we dive in, I'm going to come to our daily news. And as you notice, you have tools and resources here as well. And I'm going to play our daily news because obviously I tell you guys to listen to financial news. So that was a huge part of, you know, us being able to bring this to you because financial news is important. You know, financial news is very important. Since the day that I've been on the platform, anytime you've heard my voice, we talk about your financial news. So let me go ahead and let me get you started with that.
Live from the world's capital markets, here are the latest financial headlines brought to you by BYOB Trading Academy.
Hello, and welcome to Tuesday's Daily Financial Digest.
Most Asian currencies fell and the dollar rose as markets hunkered down ahead of a Federal Reserve meeting this week, while fears of a banking crisis kept sentiment on edge, despite government measures to assuage market concerns. European markets ticked up But bank stocks were mixed and volatile as investors assessed the significance of the near collapse of Credit Suisse, one of the world's most important financial institutions. Investors dumped Credit Suisse shares and bonds after rival UBS agreed at the weekend to lease shares and bonds of seven-year-old bank for just a fraction of its market value, with hefty backstops from the Swiss government. The last session saw the dollar fall 0.7% against the yen. The MACD's negative signal is in line with the overall technical analysis. The Bitcoin dollar pair traded sideways in the last session. The MACD is giving a positive signal which matches our overall technical analysis. The gold dollar pair made a minor upwards correction in the last session, gaining 0.1%. The ultimate oscillator's negative signal contradicts our overall technical analysis. The oil dollar pair skyrocketed 2.3% in the last session. The stochastic RSI indicates an oversold market. The US Red Book Index will be released at 12:55 GMT. The US existing home sales at 1400 hours GMT. The Eurozone ZEW survey, economic sentiment, at 1000 hours GMT. Germany's ZEW survey, current situation, will be released at 1000 hours GMT. The UK's public sector net borrowing at 0700 hours GMT. Australia's RBA meeting minutes at 0000 hours and 30 minutes GMT.
We hope that you've enjoyed Tuesday's financial report. On behalf of all of us here, we wish you a productive trading day. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning for the latest news and events from the financial markets.
Awesome. So let me pause it because it will play again. So now I want to go ahead. Let me say good morning to everybody. I kind of jumped in, but I want to say good morning. This is Tasha Umdai, the Trade Whisperer. I am the co-founder and the CEO of the BYOB movement. And I just, as far as what we're doing is I am actually going to bring you weekly setups. We're going to analyze the charts, the markets, and, we're going to take it from there. So to help you be able to see and actually be able to understand how to take those trades. So when you're looking, I want to say good morning to Detroit. Let me just say good morning to everybody. Like I said, I kind of jumped in, but good morning. I see Cleveland. I see you all on here, Georgia. I see the United Kingdom. I see Ohio, Jacksonville, Florida. So just see you guys from all over and all around. And yes, I see you streaming online as well. Now, what we did yesterday is we kind of jumped in, okay? And we kind of looked at some of these daily signals. And what this is for when you talk about it, this is a technical analysis that's going to help you kind of understand where we are in the markets and, those major support and resistance lines and how the market's moving. So once again, we do have FOMC today and tomorrow. There's always an expectation of what's going to happen, but you still want to pay attention. And now this is where your personal trading style and your personal trading style and your personal techniques and your experience come into play, because some of you all want to make, some of you all want to make, you're scalpers, you're going to take those trades. So I'm going to try to talk to all of you all, and some of you all want to let it sit. Some of you all are skilled enough to where you can dive in and you can trade with the news. And then some of you all need to sit out and wait. Now, but that's going to be based on your experience level. However, all of you all need to be present, following, touching, feeling the market, demo account first before you start doing anything, okay? And my goal is to help you see the market, so you can be effective. You can. And so we have different educators, and they're going to be focused on different things. Like this evening is a basics call, and that's to help you get those demo accounts set up. That's to help you, dive into the market. That's to help you begin to get that feel. That's kind of like when you go swimming, that's that floaty that you have, that's gonna get, you have somebody walking you through and telling you to cup your hand, telling you the things that you need to do in order to be successful. But when you start having positive gains and positive trades, please do not stop there. That's my only thing is don't stop there. Please, because if you want to be successful in the market structure is something you're going to have to understand. So we're not here to teach you how to just make a few positive trades. We're here to help you become let this be a lifestyle of income, to where when things happen, right? Who expected a bank to crash? Who expected, that to be a story? Who expected those things? Nobody. But let it not phase you. Let it not be your testimony. Let it not have any impact. Let it not be something you have to be concerned with. And that's our goal, is for you to have your personal economic empowerment. You to understand how to make currency flow. That's what this is all about for us. So what we're going to do is, I want to kind of pick up here where we were yesterday. We'll talk about Bitcoin. Hopefully we'll get to gold. But as you can see, things did shift, right? Things that we talked about yesterday. So if you looked at the oil dollar pair, it did skyrocket, as it states here. It looked at yesterday, it showed a positive signal. As gold, we talked about gold. We really didn't mark that one up. We did do Bitcoin. So hopefully you all did take advantage of that. Let me get some 777s in the chat if you took any of the trades or any of the movements from yesterday. I want to see some 777s in the chat if you took any of the movements or anything from yesterday. 777s in the chat if you did any of that. All right. And a 555 if you analyzed. There we go. I see some 777s. Let me get a 555 if you did any analyzation. All right. And the reason that's important is because when you analyze, you get to decide if you take a trade or not. When you analyze, you go in and you mark up the charts, you get to decide if you want to take a trade or not. Or you might have just been marking it up for the experience and the understanding of learning it. So all of that is so very important, okay? I do want you guys to understand it, and I do want you to know that, okay? So very, 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 very important, very important. So no matter what takes place, no matter what happens, I want all of you all to always be kind of focused on, what it is you're looking to achieve and accomplish. So I did add, let me jump on over here. I do want to, let me check these numbers. GBP. We're going to see if they had it. Let me see where I wrote this down yesterday. Now, why am I doing this on the line with you all? Well, guess what? If I'm writing it down, then you should be writing it down, right? So I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing so you can kind of see what you should be doing. All right. So I'm taking that support line, and I have my notebook with my calendar and my dates and all of those things. So I have that as well. So I'm writing these numbers down because we're going to analyze that to show you how it shifted and how it moved. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to ask the same question I asked yesterday. What is a support? Drop it in the chat. What is support? What is support? Somebody drop it in the chat. Support is that is correct. Support is the floor. Now, what is resistance? It definitely is. And could I take a screenshot? I could, but I don't want my phone flooded with pictures I never delete. Because if you know me, you kind of know that's what will happen. All right. And then I'll be looking, I'm like, what does this mean? What was I using this for? But I also like things being in my notebook so I can go back and reference it. All right. So here's I also added AUD, NZD, and we'll come back to this one. We'll see if that's going to be valid. We'll, like I said, we'll come back over here, but we're going to start here. All right. We're going to start here. And if you notice, I'm starting on my higher time frames. Okay. This is USD JPY. Is this the trade that you guys analyzed and took profit on? Is this the one? As that's the one. Yes, no, maybe so. Yep, I got a yes, yes. All right, so here I am. You notice that I'm gonna actually come up to my monthly because I want you guys to really get an understanding. So you notice that, let's look at this historically, okay? So we're looking at a monthly. So basically what the market has done, the market has really not come above this area. Now it has come up. Obviously, that's quite a bit of pips. That is quite a bit of movement. We're not going to minimize that movement, but we're going to respect the fact that it did not stay. Okay. So when it's calling for, when we come back over here and we look at USD JPY and we're looking at it and you see I'm on USD JPY, you can definitely see that it has a negative signal. It's showing negative. It's showing, right, that it should be in a negative momentum. And now this kind of gives you an understanding as to why. So when I'm looking at the charts and I can see what's happening, then you can definitely see that here. You see where it spiked, it moved up, and now that's historical. Now, obviously, that's way back when, because I'm on the monthly chart. Now, the monthly means that I get a candle once a month. So I don't get a candle every day. I don't get a candle every hour, every 5 minutes. You see that the market, you see clear market direction, okay? Clear market direction. Now, this channel was drawn before, not on a monthly, but I just want you to understand that it came up like historically and it pulled back down. And doesn't history repeat itself? We say that all the time. So if history repeats itself, people repeat themselves, people prove to you who they are, then the reality is why wouldn't the charts do the same thing? Because we're moving it, not me and you personally, but people who make decisions and governments and different things, we're who is actually moving the market. So, of course, once again, history will repeat itself. So as you can see now, I'm on my weekly. And what we did yesterday is we did the 1-2 pull it through. So you always want to begin with that trend line. And this is where this came from, that 1-2 pull it through. Okay. And then we cloned it. And so we're starting to see a trend. We're starting now. What you're watching is that trend develop. Okay. You're watching it create. You're watching it create the lower highs. Okay. This high is lower than the last high. This low, right? So we don't yet have another low, but the expectation based on what we're seeing is that we will create another low, but it has to break the zone. Okay. It has to break that, which is where we were. If I jump to my daily, then you'll notice that this is that area that pullback, because this was yesterday's, this was yesterday's floor. This was yesterday's floor. That was yesterday's support. So here we are at the floor. We pull back up. And so I'm scanning in, because now you can see the activity. So now I don't see the big direction, the big bias of the market, where the market's going. What I'm seeing is the actual movement inside of that. And of course, there will be other market structure. There will be structure inside of that structure. You guys with me? Questions, comments, or testimonies? And come to my 4 hour where we typically hang out. Drop them in the chat if you have any questions, comments, or testimonies. But where we typically hang out, you can see that this is where that profit was taken. And we actually had our first target and our second target. And so yesterday I showed you how it would move, and you guys should have taken profit right after the call, around that time of the call, right? Is that when you took profit? That's when, for those of you all who did take the trade, is that when you took profit around that time? Because that's when you should have really taken that trade. Now, yep, see the yes. So great, somebody is paying attention. I get excited about that. Okay. So, and please, and if guys, be in your demo account, okay? Be in your demo account, take the trades, analyze, be in your demo account. So I'm going to give me a side-by-side, and then we're going to readjust those zones. Okay, I'm going to jump for me a side-by-side. I'm going to USD JPY it, so you guys can see what's happening. So you see, let me make sure. Oh, wait, hold on. USD JPY, come back over here. I want my USD JPY. Okay, so you can see where we are inside of that. So you notice that here I'm on this chart, I am still on my 4 hour, okay? So when you do side by side, you can kind of see, and I have my Hikinashis. I'm going to change right here. I have my favorite set up. I'm going to change to my Japanese candle so you can see what's actually happening. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to change to my Japanese candles. We'll be on Hikinashi when we go to take a trade, but right now I want you to see what's happening. So this is what my 15-minute looks like. This is what my 4 hour looks like, okay? Now you see where it says the currency pair, it says my 4 hour, and it shows the broker. You want to make sure those things are still the same. So you see the currency pair, and I'm on my 15-minute. I will have to expand it for you guys to see everything, right? But it's there, okay? So what you're looking at is all that activity. So when we talk about the trade that was taken yesterday, If I change this one back to my Hikanashi candles, and I'm showing you this because I don't want you to miss out. So that was that movement that took place. If I put a box around this right here, so you guys could see it, okay? When I put that box around that candle specifically, this is the movement inside of that candle. I'm gonna lighten this up just a little bit so you guys can see, all right? So I want you to see the movement. And so this is that movement when you would have taken that trade. Put my Hikanashi candles back on, you can see what it would look like from a BYOB cash out standpoint, where you would have had a blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. You see a green candle with a flat bottom and my PSAR flipped. So all of that is actually right there. So if I was to come over here, I don't know why it defaults to the heart, telling me to love on y'all a little bit more maybe. And, you know, so you can kind of see right here where you had that momentum, but I did not have confluence, right? So, and actually, let me come to my hour so we can look at it. I don't like that confluence. I told you guys, I like the 1 hour and the 4 hour for more of a confirmation of confluence. So this is where you guys have known that I only technically need the 1 hour, but I like the 1 and the 4. So you see, I don't like this candle. I don't like that candle. Now, that's just not a trade I would have taken. I would have waited. So if I move this over to where we got our next set of, the momentum, or had I just moved this over from on my hour, you would have seen that we actually now, my blue line crossing over the red in an upward momentum. Yes, it will be around the 20, but you notice that momentum did start back here. So the momentum is inside of this box. It started, but it was not ready until here. So this is where you actually would have began to take the trade. Now, if I move from here to here, all right, so what I'm doing is reviewing the trade that you guys should have taken yesterday. And this is the one we analyzed yesterday. So this is kind of a recap to kind of get you ready for today. So now when you look, that was an opportunity up until the trend line, all right, to the trend line. That was an opportunity for you to get at least 50 pips. Obviously, it's a little bit more, but I'm going to base it off of when you get into the trade. But that was an opportunity for you to gain at least 50 pips. So any questions, comments, or testimonies on that? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Drop it in the chat. Nope. Okay, we'll keep going. All right. So that was that opportunity for you to get that. So now what we are is you can see the rejection happening on my higher time frame, and you can kind of see what it looks like, right? We don't trade. This is what I call a mess. So I'm not trading that. I'm not trading this. So now let's go ahead. I'm going to take this back off, and we're going to come in, okay? So is that clear? Are you guys clear on that? I'm going to leave these here, but I'm going to change the color. Are we clear on that? All right. Do you guys have some clarity? So I'm going to actually put these new lines on here. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to put some new lines on here. I'm going to drop it up here because I want you to see that I'm going to change the color. Okay. And actually, because we already have some orange on there, let's go ahead and get our coloring book together. And the only reason I'm doing it like this, so you can see the zones. Okay. I'm doing it like this so you guys can clearly see these updated zones. Okay. So you notice that this is the support line. I might need to, let me see, can I change it just a little bit? Make it a little bit lighter. There we go. All right. And so now I'm going to draw the, obviously it had a range of a support and a range of a resistance. So let's go ahead and do that. This is for you. Now that's that range. Okay. This is my new support. So inside of that range, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, right? I'm going to do that. And that's the one I said, we're going to lighten up just a little bit. That's that new range area. So now let's go ahead and draw the other one on here. And this is now my resistance. So you see that it did shift from yesterday, right? So we're here now, and let's get that second line going. Now, once again, you notice I normally would draw like the little boxes right here. I'm going to come up to a higher time frame just a little bit, but I would draw these little boxes like this, but I'm drawing the lines because I want you guys to clearly see the support and resistance. So this one is at 132.6, let me see. Make sure I got the right one. That one is correct. I'm gonna come to this one and I'm gonna do this one at 13297. Okay, so you notice, and where am I getting this from? Does anybody remember where I got this from? Anybody remember where I got this from? All right. So, yep, the daily news, absolutely correct. So now this is what I mean by, this is what it means by signals. Did it tell us a take profit? We're now, once again, we're not calling anything a profit, but did it give us a profit? Did it give us a go? It gave us a range to focus on, right? It gave us a range to focus on. So you notice that yesterday my range was from here to here. Now my focus has narrowed. A lot of times when we have major news like we have right now, you'll actually see the market, you'll see the market, like it won't have as much movement while it's waiting on the reports. So you notice that our range that we're kind of focused on, it kind of shortened. So basically it's saying that it can still come up to here. It's within our target area that we already had identified. So it's within that target area that was previously identified. However, you can also see that, you know, we were here, but we're now on the other side of this trend line. And you can see where it's kind of got us hanging out on the other side of this trend line before it waits and it'll break through there. So hopefully that's clear. Okay, so now when I look, okay, we already know that we had a negative, quote unquote, signal, a negative, but now you can kind of see why we're not pushing up. If I look over here, you can kind of see where it kind of look where the market is, what it's doing right there. And if I bring back my side by side, you'll see that the market is kind of consolidated in this area. So once again, I'm not, quote unquote, taking a trade right now. I'm not, but you want to pay attention because it's definitely that zone area of trading has tightened because of we're waiting on the news. That's going to either strengthen the USD or weaken the USD. Okay, it's going to strengthen the USD or it's going to weaken the USD. If the USD, if it's a positive report, positive for the USD, it will make it stronger than the JPY. My USD is my base currency. This is my counter currency. It will make it stronger, which means what would the expectation and the market do if it is stronger, if the USD is the strongest? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. What would the market do? Go ahead and drop it in there. Yes, exactly. It will pull for a buy. So, but you want to also pay attention to look at how this one is pulling down on my lower time frame, but my higher time frame, I'm still overbought. So if I could jump over here, now look at my 4 hour. My 4 hour still has a little area. Look at my daily. Look at this opportunity right here on my stochastic. So what will happen is if it's positive, then what's going to happen? This is going to reset. You know, it can come down without moving. My stochastic will reset. But when I see my daily still has opportunity to move up in that buy. All right. So but I would also be mindful of the trend that we're currently in. So the news can push it, but we're still going to be within our current bias of what the market's doing. You get what I'm, hopefully that's clear. So even if it pushes up, you want to respect the channel and the trend on my higher time frame that's already being created. Okay. So yes, we're waiting on the news, but we're already within a channel. And so I would not trade anything outside of this channel until it's a clear break of that channel. Okay. We've already started creating that channel. I would not trade anything, okay, outside of that channel. So even if it does, it's positive, it pushes up, it could be a spike, it could be initial reaction, it could be those things. I would not be taking a trade outside of this channel until it's just like a river, right? I would not take a trade outside of that channel until the market, pushes outside and it's a clear break of that channel because it started forming it already. So if you think about, you have storms, you think about things like hurricanes come, but even if it pushes out, the water get on the levee, the water pushes out, it gets into the streets, it goes like it'll come outside of it a little bit. It still respects the levee. It still respects the channel that the river is in, and it's going to draw back and get back in there. It all works the same. All right. So respect that regardless of kind of what it does. Okay. Got it? Got it. All right. So let's go ahead, and I want to, any questions before we jump? I don't want to spend too much time. I know we were following it because my goal is to make you effective, but also to kind of help you be able to take some of these trades on your own, and to kind of bring that clarity to you. Okay. So GBP AUD is the other one that we were following. And this one has already disrespected. If you want to look up, I'm on my daily and it's already at the top. Now, why did I want to show you this one again? Because I want you to understand, because I think when I got on the call last Wednesday, quite a few of you guys were like, oh, I would have taken that trade. I would have taken that. And I talked to you about liquidity grabs. I talked to you about how the market pulls up. Okay. I talked to you about that. Now we're in that side. We're still within that zone. It did not break this trend line. Okay. But many of you would have jumped in and you'd be trying to take a buy. And so the only reason why I'm still sharing this with you is because, yes, my scalpers, maybe my intraday might have got some trades. I didn't take this, but I'm going to tell you why. Because I understand that this is that support resistance area. This is where we were. But I also understand that zone was marked off and that the market could still pull back down. I am overbought on my 4-hour. I am overbought on my daily. And if you look, I am overbought on my weekly. The market has spiked up there. I am not jumping out of that zone until it's a clear indication that the market is pulling out of there. Hey, I actually feel the manifestation of our affirmations. Now that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not pulling out of here unless, right, the market. So just because it pulled up here does not mean, and this is where I need to help you all. Just because it pulled up here, it does not mean that I can just jump in for a buy, that the market is just going to buy. Now, of course, there are other factors, and I'm not saying it's definitely going to sell. What I'm telling you is that it's here. The market is overbought. It pushed up, but it's also rejecting, right? There's heavy rejection. Let me go back, get off my Hikanashi. Let's go to my Japanese candles. You can see rejection that's taking place. You can see rejection that took place over here. You can see the market's rejecting something. Now, obviously, GBP is stronger. Obviously, it's stronger right now, but I'm still overbought. So let the market get a clear direction. Is it going to pull back down? Is it going to reject? Is it going to stay with here? Because if it clears, this is going to reset. You're going to have a retest of this area before it pulls up for a buy. Questions, comments, testimonies. I wanted to show you this because I know that we discussed this. And even though we discussed this, the market, before you take a trade, the market still has to do what it's supposed to do. So you don't just take a trade without a proper analyzation, right? You can't take a trade without a proper analyzation, right? All right. Right. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? All right. So let me jump to, and once again, I figured today we wouldn't have a lot of setups, and that's just because of the news. And I wanted to kind of show you that, but I do want to show you this one. So we'll start up here. All right. We'll come over here. You see everything I have is not a USD. So we'll do this and then we'll go to our indices. So you see that I'm on my daily, and make sure I get the right tool. And 1, 2, pull it through, right? So we had a clear indication of a trend, okay? This began changing. And so you can kind of see where it's trying. Actually, I'm going to take the trend line off on this side because I want to show you. All right. So what we are, all right, because this will be a smaller move. I'm going to drop down to my 4-hour because you can see, that's why I took it off of there, because I want you guys to see that there was there was a trend that developed here. So you saw the trend that moved up. And just to kind of give you understanding, I'm going to put this in here. Now, one thing I want you to notice, I'm going to clone that line to kind of give you a channel. I like channels. If you guys didn't already know that, this is what I meant about it breaking past the channel a little bit and pulling back. But you notice that it doesn't always touch the edges of the channel. And it starts pulling down when the change is coming. So it touched the top, didn't touch the bottom, touched the top, touched the bottom, and it stopped touching the top, and then it changed. So my take profit is not always at the top or the bottom of the channel. That's why I wanted to point that out. But as you analyze, you'll be able to make that decision, right? As you analyze. So now you can see, let's see here. You can see where another trend kind of got created. And I'm gonna draw another channel. Okay, and you can see the same thing. When it started trying to change, it stopped touching the bottom. So just to kind of little food, just a little nugget right there. Okay, so now what we are on here, on this one, you can see we're kind of in this zone area right here. And so in order for us to have a true uptrend, we have to, right? So you stop having those higher, you stop creating those lower lows. But in order to have a true uptrend, we have to start, just like we did on the last currency, we have to actually start that channel. We have to start that pattern. And so right now, what it looks like is we can actually begin to pull down a little bit. Let's come back up to my daily. You can kind of see right there. And so let's go ahead, and I'm gonna just show you because I don't want to do long trades based on, and the news is gonna impact everything. I don't want that. I'm going to put this. I'm going to give you guys, because I want to show you that they do have little patterns inside of patterns. So if you kind of look, this will be a potential, give you guys a potential, right? You can kind of see that movement where the market might move sideways for a second. And then you'll be in this area. You'll be in this area right up in here. So if I look, support and resistance lines, and you'll kind of be in this area right up in here, right? And so you can kind of see on my higher time frame where the market, like where we had some rejection, just kind of like that little zone area right up in here. All right. So you have your touches. And so that would be right? So there's a potential move for you. If it's, if based on market movement, if it kind of goes sideways. So once again, that'll be that. And I'll probably show you next week how to do alerts. I'm not going to get into that today. We only got about 15 minutes left. So if you don't know how to do alerts on here to kind of come back, so you're not sitting on the charts all day, I want you guys to get familiar with this. That's why we really haven't broken this out. So, and what you're seeing here is it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up. So until we're either going to break through here, it's going to break through there and keep coming down. But it might pull back again before it does anything. So you can kind of pay attention to this one. And as I look on my higher time frame, okay, where we're overbought. So it's a great opportunity that it will. Let's get our side by side. So that's AUD NZD. I want to come over here and I want to change this one to AUD NZD. And you kind of see where we're inside of here. I'm on my 15-minute chart. What do we have? Blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum. I have a red candle with a flat top. PSR flip to the top. Hikanashi, right? You flip back, you see nice movement. It rejected here. Go back to my Hikanashi. Got a nice setup, but we do not have confluence on my 4 hour. Come to my hour, we have slight confluence. Like I said, I like to have some on my 4 hour as well, but we got quite a bit. We just got this 1 hour candle. It's not solid enough as far as I'm concerned. We got this, but you can see that movement. So you guys might get to come to about right here, kind of looking, or some of you guys might want to wait, but that's nice movement where you can kind of see down. Well, we just got a new 15-minute candle as well. When you kind of drop over, You can kind of see what's happening within those candles. Now you notice that these are in my favorites. I have my candles, my line chart, and my Hikanashi, right? I have all of those in my favorites. These are those three right here, okay? These are those three right here. So I just switch back and forth. I'm on my Hikanashis. When I look over here, obviously, switch to my traditional. You see how it's rejecting off the top. You can see that movement that's happening over here. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. See, ta-da. Questions, comments, testimonies. None? None. Okay. Let us see. I'm gonna keep going. So you guys, are you understanding? I do need to know this. Are you guys understanding how the higher time frames and the lower time frames do the side by side help you? Now, in order to get that side by side, you do have to have a paid subscription. So I'm just gonna on TradingView. But you know, normally we flip back and forth. But do you understand how that side by side can help you see how the market is moving? So it's helped you a lot. All right, awesome. All right. And so you guys should get some take profit on this soon. If you do not take it, then wait for it to bypass this, do a retest, and then take it, okay? So you will see a retest on this one, all right? So even as we get ready to close out the call, let me go ahead and mark this one. As we get ready to close out the call, you guys, you know, it'll be time for another 30-minute candle if you want to kind of get some, you know, clear understanding. Let me keep this one on my 15, come back to this, the one I wanted on my 30. So we'll get another 30-minute candle on this one where you can kind of see the activity and the movement. I know with the red candles, you can see what's happening with the traditional Japanese candles, and then the trend candles is the Hikanashi, okay? All right. Let us see. I do want to real quick, just a recap. This is Bitcoin. Let me get rid of my side by side. So this is Bitcoin. And as you can see, if I come to my higher time frame, right, we were having some rejection. You can see where Bitcoin was on that trend line. Don't come back and move your trend lines. It came on the other side, but these are those zones that were created. Now, the zones for Bitcoin they didn't move up 2.8. The resistance moved to 2.85641. So just to put one of these on here, 2.85641. Well, there are too many numbers. I think I got way too many numbers. Way too many numbers. Let's jump back over here and see what I wrote down. 2.8. No, that's what it says. Let's jump. 2.8564. Let me do this again. There we go. That's that point. They add the extra broker. So you can see, actually, do I want to leave? No, that's just me. So you can see that once again, that kind of moved as well. So this is where we were yesterday. This one kind of tightened up a little bit too. And then the 262. So this zone actually tightened up a little bit too. So let's do this, 262. 26210. I didn't put both of them on there, guys. I didn't. But maybe I should have changed the color. I didn't put both of them on there because I want you to see this. So we're still within that area from yesterday, but you notice that this kind of tightened up. Once again, what is BTC paired with? What is it paired with? What is it paired with? USD. Okay, USD. What are we waiting on? So you can see, and don't forget, it will explode kind of. It will go. So just pay attention. I'll put that box around this area right here. So even if it does pull back some, you know, my expectation is still for it to overall, it's got to pull back because it's been overbought. Okay. It's got to pull back. It has to, you know, it just has to. It might spike a little bit, but it has to pull back some. And the market cannot stay in an overbought. So regardless of how much it pulls back, it'll pull back a little bit and then we'll keep going. All right. So let's just kind of pay attention to what's happening. I'm trying to see what else is it forming over here. Yeah, so you can kind of see where it bottomed out. And this was a nice little area had to break before, right? This was a nice little area had to break before. So, look, the dinosaur, So, you know, this was a little area had to break before. So once again, just kind of take it easy to the next 2 days. That's what this is. Even with the US 30, you know, or US 30, you can kind of say, did anybody take the profit? We marked this up at the end of the call yesterday, and as you can see, it actually moved. It moved up. You guys should have definitely had a nice profit on our indices, and now it just has to break through there. So once again, I'm not going to go mark this one back up. Like I said, you know, we're going to let the news do what it does. We have FOMC. But yeah, so we have a few more minutes until we close out here. But do you guys have any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Do you guys have any? It's still, we just got that one. It's like I wanted to wait, but that's pretty much all I have for you all today. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any? You guys are quiet this morning. Let me check the other chat real quick. Nope, nothing in the chat. All right. So once again, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I do. So what I'm going to do, I'm glad to hear you listening and learning. The interaction is going to help me with you guys, though. The interaction is going to help me answer the questions and the things that you need. But I do want to guide you to understanding that what's going to happen is we're going to be here. Okay. We are going to be here. So you must have an account. And when you look at the courses, I'm going to kind of click on the courses that we have. And what I like and what, we've always been very transparent. And so you're going to have the different levels, like the class that you're going to get on Thursday morning, with the classes you're going to get on Thursday morning with Dr. Graham. You must be enrolled into the intermediate to be able to access that one. Now, the class that I'm doing on Mondays and Tuesdays, you have to be in the advanced to be able to access this class that we're on right now. And the professional package, the gentleman that I share with you, and that will be a Wednesday evening class, not this week, but it's coming. You're going to have to be enrolled in a professional. So, and that's going to have the stocks and those things. So you want to make sure that you're in the right packages. And, just to kind of share with you that, it's not about having to start at the beginners, because when you look at it, the beginners is here. So you can actually see what's here but obviously I don't have access. I'm not logged in. I have access, but I don't have access right now because I'm not logged in. And so you don't have access to this content, but you can see what's in there. And so the professional does cover everything. The professional has everything, the stock market, the advanced stock, all of these things that are there. And then, of course, how to walk through your MetaTrader and things like that. So, and guess what? It is back in Apple. So Apple came through. The only negative thing I ever had to say about them, but I didn't, because obviously they had their reasons. So MetaTrader made its adjustments, it did whatever it needed to do, and ta-da, we are here now. So you want to make sure that you are registered for the academy. The academy and being an affiliate is two different things, okay? Being an affiliate allows you to earn a referral bonus for sharing this information with your friends, neighbors, relatives, people you care about. Tonight, we do have a webinar. You want to bring your +1, +2, +3, okay? But bring someone with you. There's somebody's life out there that needs to be changed. Somebody needs to know just a little bit more about what's happening and what we do. Okay, somebody needs to know there's also some specials on the real estate. So if you're looking to become licensed, there are some specials that are happening right now, from licensing, your CEs, all of those things. There are some real estate specials that are happening. So click it. The specials are there. And so it'll kind of walk you through what's available. So you do want to do that. I'm trying to get to this 10:30 mark so we can see this candle and what happens. So, our current specials right now, once again, 25% off. So, you go shopping. And so you always want to check it. We had a 50% off. Now we're at 25% off. So there's always going to be something. And that was definitely just taking a minute to load. But that was based on what we just had, St. Patrick's Day. Ta-da. Please tell me somebody took the trade. Please tell me it moved. There we go. We hit our goal. We hit our target. We hit our target. We hit our target. We hit our target. Yay. Live trade on the setup. And that's what I was waiting for. Did anybody take the trade? I walk you through the strategy with the time frame confluence. Did anybody take the trade? Did anybody take the trade? If you did not, I'm about to have this. So now, even if you didn't take the trade, do you see how it works? How do you understand how the top-down analysis, how it works, how your time frame confluence, how the market timeframes work together? So if you did not take the trade, you should see that. You should at least see that. That's what I was waiting on. That's why I wasn't ready to get off the call. I was waiting on that push, waiting on that take profit, or waiting on that target goal hit. Let me say it that way. So did you guys see that? I see it. And that's what I'm really trying to help you guys with, is understanding how this moves. So when I look at my Hikinashi candle, I come back. So, and it was no guesswork, right? No guesswork. So the only reason not to have taken that trade is, once again, when I look here, all right, the only reason, you can see how it moved, but the only reason not to have taken the trade initially would have been because of what you saw initially, right? What you saw when we initially looked at it, while you're waiting on that shift to happen. And that's why I mentioned that you might see it here, but then you might wait till after it passes this target mark right here. So some of you guys might have waited, okay? Questions, comments, testimonies, so we can close out. Questions, comments, any? All right, well, I'm glad that you have some great clarity. I'm glad to hear that. All right, well, I love you all. Let it be a profitable week. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to the market. Watch it move. Watch it flow. You have your other target areas for this move that's taking place. Follow it, trade it, demo account. Okay, guys. Miss Reed, can you close us out, please?
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much for such a morning of clarity. Let's pray. Father God, you are our Heavenly Father, and you are such a loving Father, good Father, and you take such good care of your children. And we are so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for how you are using Mr. Rogers and Miss Dyer and our educators, for how they're leading and guiding us into prosperity, plenty, and abundance. And God, we thank you that poverty and lack are bound and under our feet, and we are literally trampling on them underfoot. We decree and declare that we are 2 million families strong, turning this world upside right for generation and generations to come. Lord, if we had 10,000 tongues, we cannot thank you enough for this great movement, for all the provisions you have made and are making God, please help us to be individually and collectively responsible for our rapid growth. Oh, how we love your commandments. They are certainly not grievous to us. And God, we thank you for the privilege to say yes to your will, yes to your word, and yes to your way. In the precious name of Jesus, amen. And thank God. And this officially ends this wonderful call. And we'll meet you this evening at the webinar at 7:30. Don't forget to register. And then tonight again at 9 p.m. God bless. And let's go our way in prosperity and abundance. Amen.